Hello friends, welcome to the next video. In this video, we're going to be continuing our study of the rebound stroke, and we're going to be doing it through my book, Paradiddles and the Magic Sticking. Paradiddles and the Magic Sticking. Why is this book so good for this type of exercise? It's because you have to know when to lift the stick and to know when to bounce, okay? When to bounce is essential. Now, I don't want you to be doing this book sticking everything, okay? It's not about the stickings, it's about the choreography and the phrases. I mean, most of all, it's about the phrases. As you know, I wrote this book in India when I was over there teaching at a conservatory, and I studied also konakol and, phrasing from tabla and madungram and all sorts of percussion from India. So the result of that was this book. Now, when you approach this book, the correct way to do it is by using the rebound stroke. Now, when I was on my last tour in Europe a couple of months ago, I noticed the huge gap of information that existed. Even though there's tons of videos about hand technique, a lot of them completely a waste of time, in my opinion. And I'm appalled at how many people put stuff out there that is just incredibly wrong. The biggest gap in knowledge, I think, is this information with the rebound stroke. I mean, I was surprised on how little information we have, especially in Europe, about this. Okay, so just to recap a little bit, every phrase has its choreography. The choreography is the outer motion, right, of the phrases. The stickings, right, right, left, right, that stuff is the sequence in which the notes fall, okay? But the choreographies are what gives you the phrase. For example, 5-stroke roll has 3 movements or choreographies, which is this: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. And when you do the 5-stroke roll, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. You don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. You see the difference between sticking and rebounding. Now, the way to get that under control is, of course, slow and with pure rebound, which is not easy, and this is what we're lacking in our information. And remember, the reason we do this is so that you can play with ease, and most of all, so that you can avoid injury as you're playing for many years. If you do only stickings, that's going to lead to tendonitis and all kinds of problems, and it's also going to totally inhibit your speed and phrasing. Okay. Another issue, just want to touch on finger control, right? That's like the icing on the cake. That should not be your main study in hand technique. I see all these videos of these guys, doing finger control tricks, and when you put them on the drum set, they're not even using it, okay? It's amazing. So, now, let's just get into this exercise. We're on page 17 of Paradiddles and the Magic Sticking, exercise 8, okay? It's the section 2-bar phrases. Let's look at exercise 8. Now, this may look like a kind of simple exercise, but it's not at all. When you consider the choreography here, it's very tricky when you break it down. Of course, once you know these things, it becomes just a flow, and it just comes out of you, So let's take a look at what's going on real quick. The first thing we see there is a 5-stroke roll, okay? Now you see the accent, the first accent is on the 1, the next accent is on the E of 2, and that left gives us a paradiddle diddle. Left, right, 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 okay? So, if you want to do these two things together, right, left, right, left. The first up stroke, let's say, is on the second note of the 5-stroke roll, or the third note, sorry, of the 5-stroke roll. So 1, left, up. 1, left, up. Okay, so technically you would say accent, tap, up. And then right, right, which is 2 taps. Okay, and that brings you to the next accent. Now, accent, right, left, left, right, right. That's a paradiddle diddle. Okay. The lift for the next accent on the duh of 3 would come from the second note, the last note of the paradiddle, of the left-handed paradiddle, okay, which is on the 3 on 3. Okay, so the two things together sound like this. 5-stroke roll, paradiddle diddle. Okay, the next accent comes on the duh of 3, and what we have is a left-handed paradiddle with the magic sticking. Remember, the magic sticking is an extension doing a double stroke roll, right, right, left, left, or left, left, right, right, whatever the phrase you're beginning your hand with. It's going to vary, so pay attention to that. In this case, it's a left-handed paradiddle, so we're going to go right, right, left, left. Okay, it sounds like this. Paradiddle, right, right, left, left. Okay. The next accent is on the duh of 1, and we get that accent from the lift on 1. Okay, so if you're doing that phrase, paradiddle, right, right, left, left, right. That's what that looks like. That's where you're lifting. Okay, you're not waiting for the notes. Okay. Up, and that's how you get that accent. Okay, the next phrase is a right-handed paradiddle with the magic stickings, and the next is those 2 accents with those last 5 notes there are single strokes. Okay, and that's what makes this phrase in particular a little bit tricky, because those accents come up fast. Okay, 3 E and duh, 4 E and duh. Okay, now, if all this sounds complicated, it's just to let you know that the science behind all of it is very well thought out. All right, it's not like you just do these stickings and that's the end of your drumming technique. All these things you have to figure out, especially when to lift. As you know, I've said it many times before. Apparently it was Buddy Rich who said the secret to drumming is not when you hit the drum, it's when you lift the stick. Knowing that is going to give you access to the choreography and access to the rebound stroke. Okay, so now that said, let's just play this phrase here. And I'm going to play it at 160, which is the maximum suggested speed. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, so you'll notice I'm not doing all those stickings. A lot of it I'm using the rebound stroke and flowing the choreographies to get that phrase out. Now, this is the process that you should be going under when you're learning this. Okay, you don't play it at that speed, and that is the work that you should be doing. Very detailed work like that. Now, let's just take, for example 9, all right? This phrase is a little bit easier because it's more flowing. But basically we have paradiddle diddle, paradiddle diddle, paradiddle diddle, paradiddle and the magic sticking, and then paradiddle and right left as a single notes. Now, if you want to be real nitpicky, you can think of this as a double paradiddle with just a left-left extension, but let's not get too crazy with all that stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So if all this sounds complicated, maybe it is a little bit, but if you have your basics together, like rebound, studying the rebound stroke with a 5-stroke, the 6, 7, 8-stroke, your life's going to be a lot easier. This is more advanced phrasing, okay? Well, this is another thing I like about this book. It's not only about exercises, it gives you phrasing that you can actually use on the kit, okay? Anyway, let's check out number 10. Let's do it with a metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Sounds really nice. You can observe the lifts there and the choreographies. Let's do number 11. Okay, let's do it with the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Now those are all at 160. Again, you'll notice that the choreographies are a big part of my interpreting in this situation because I can throw the phrases. I'm not concentrating on the stickings, I'm concentrating on the choreographies. If you have any questions about choreographies, go back and watch the other videos about the most basic strokes using them. All right, now just for fun, I'm going to play this as fast as I can. Let's see, the last one, number 11. Okay, that's about as fast as I can get it today. The rebound stroke is an integral part of relaxation and speed. If you can make it become a part of you, it will be very beneficial, I guarantee. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this. And just to let you know, I'm going to be in China in 2 weeks. I'm heading to China for drum seminars and judging a lot of drum competitions and stuff like that. I love China. I'm very honored to be a part of the drum community out there, and I'm looking forward to being with my drum brothers in China. It's going to be great. Again, one of the biggest gaps I notice all over the world, China, no doubt, is probably the biggest let's say, country in which this information is not readily available, is this situation with the rebound stroke. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this. Remember, we're doing hand consultations, only $100 an hour over whatever. WhatsApp is the most efficient way, but Facebook video, whatever platform you have. Only $100 gets you a 1-hour hand consultation where I can take a look at your hands and see how to move forward with this information. Then we have the lesson site is available always to you. The 1-year program, $250. You have access to me, email support, support through any platform you want, WhatsApp, etc. And you have the Elite program, $1,900 for 3 hours a day for 7 days, and you have a 2-year membership on the lesson site. It's a very, very intense experience, the Elite program, and I'm very proud of the guys that have taken it because they are super dedicated drummers. And that's what I mean by elite. I don't mean the best drummers in the world. I'm talking about the best and most motivated lovers and students of drumming. That's what I consider myself too. Okay. Also, we have the lifetime membership on the site, which is $500 to get you in a lifetime membership. And yeah, that's what's going on, folks. I hope you're all well, and many greetings from Bali. See you soon in China. Peace out. Do you love drumming? Whether you are an amateur or a pro, what defines your drumming will be what you put into it, the things that you're exposed to, the things in your culture and the people you run across. If you love drumming, check out my lesson site, the most innovative curriculum in the world. I have taught thousands and thousands of drummers across the world in some of the most highly regarded drumming cultures. Check out my lesson site and see what it's all about. From big band to rock to Afro-Cuban, Brazilian, one of the most complete lesson libraries on the planet. See you there.